Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 30, Text 19. Griheshvavishatam chapi pumsam kushalakarmanam madvartayatayamanam nabandhaya grihamata. Griheshu, in family life. Avishatam, who have entered. Cha, also. Api, even. Pumsam, of persons. Kushalakarmanam, engaged in auspicious activities. Matvarta, in topics about me. Yata, is expended. Yamanam, whose every moment. Na, not. Bandhaya, for bondage. Grihaha, household life. Mataha, considered. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Those who are engaged in auspicious activities in devotional service certainly understand that the ultimate enjoyer or beneficiary of all activities is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, when one acts, he offers the results to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and passes life always engaged in the topics of the Lord. Even though such a person may be participating in family life, he is not affected by the results of his actions. Please repeat. Those who are engaged in auspicious activities in devotional service certainly understand that the ultimate enjoyer or beneficiary of all activities is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, when one acts, he offers the results to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and passes life always engaged in the topics of the Lord. Even though such a person may be participating in family life, he is not affected by the results of his actions. Purport: Generally, a person living in a family becomes overly attached to fruitive activity. In other words, he tries to enjoy the results of his activities. A devotee, however, knows that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and the supreme proprietor. Bhoktaram yajñatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. 5.29 of Bhagavad Gita. Consequently, the devotee does not consider himself the proprietor of any occupation. The devotee always thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the proprietor. Therefore, the results of his business are offered to the Supreme Lord. One who thus lives in the material world with his family and children never becomes affected by the contaminations of the material world. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 3.9. Yajñarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanah tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangah samachara. One who tries to enjoy the results of his activities becomes bound by the results. One who offers the results or profits to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, does not become entangled in the results. This is the secret of success. Generally, people take sannyas to become free from the reactions of fruitive activity. One who does not receive the results of his actions but offers them instead to the Supreme Personality of Godhead certainly remains in a liberated condition. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami confirms this. Iha yasya harerdasya karmana manasagira nikhilasvapyavasthasu jivan muktah sa uchyate. If one engages himself in the service of the Lord through his life, wealth, words, intelligence, and everything he possesses, he will always be liberated in any condition. Such a person is called Jivan Mukta, one who is liberated during this lifetime. Devoid of Krishna consciousness, those who engage in material activities simply become more entangled in material bondage. They have to suffer and enjoy the actions and reactions of all activity. This Krishna consciousness movement is therefore the greatest boon to humanity because it keeps one always engaged in Krishna's service. The devotees think of Krishna, act for Krishna, eat for Krishna, sleep for Krishna, and work for Krishna. Thus, everything is engaged in the service of Krishna. A total life in Krishna consciousness saves one from material contamination. As stated by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Shri Hari Sevaya Jaha Anukul Vishaya Valiya Tyage Hoy Bhul. If one is so expert that he can engage everything or dovetail everything in the service of the Lord, to give up the material world would be a great blunder. One should learn how to dovetail everything in the service of the Lord, for everything is connected to Krishna. That is the real purpose of life and secret of success. As reiterated later in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita 3.19, Tasmad asaktah satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hyacharan karma parama apnoti purushah. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the Supreme. The 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita specifically considers material activities for the purpose of sense gratification and material activities for the purpose of satisfying the Lord. The conclusion is that these are not one and the same. Material activities for sense gratification are the cause of material bondage, whereas the very same activities for the satisfaction of Krishna are the cause of liberation. How the same activity can be the cause of bondage and liberation can be explained as follows. One may get indigestion due to eating too many milk preparations, like condensed milk, sweet rice, and so on. But even though there is indigestion or diarrhea, another milk preparation, yogurt mixed with black pepper and salt, will immediately cure these maladies. In other words, one milk preparation can cause indigestion and diarrhea, and another milk preparation can cure them. If one is placed in material opulence due to the special mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he should not consider that opulence a cause for bondage. When a mature devotee is blessed with material opulence, he does not become affected adversely, for he knows how to employ material opulence in the service of the Lord. There are many such examples in the history of the world. There are kings like Prithu Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Janaka, Dhruva, Vaivasvata Manu, and Maharaj Ikshvaku. All of these were great kings and were especially favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If a devotee is not mature, the Supreme Lord will take away all his opulence. This principle is stated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yasyaham anugrahanami harishye tad dhanam shanai. My first mercy shown to my devotee is to take away all his material opulence. Material opulence, detrimental devotional service, is taken away by the Supreme Lord, whereas a person who is mature in devotional service is given all material facilities. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So many points are mentioned in this verse and the purport. गृहेषु आविशतां चापि पुंसां कुशलकर्मणां मद्वार्ता यातयामानां न बन्धाय गृहामता. So Vedic civilization is divided, especially the life in Vedic civilization, and especially those of the higher sections of society, those who are more educated in spiritual values, especially the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. And of all of them, especially the Brahmanas, Dvija Sreshtha. Dvija means, what is Dvija? What is Dvija? Dvija means what? Ja means Janma. Dvi means two, twice born. What does twice born mean?
One birth is from the parents and the other birth is from the initiation.
There is also another Dvija, birds and reptiles. Because once the egg is egg comes out, that is considered like the first birth. And when the egg hatches, when the bird actually comes out, there is second birth. So birds are also sometimes called Dvija. So here, of course, Dvija means, as you said, the second birth, those who take initiation. And among them, Dvija Sreshtha means the best of the twice born. So three sections of society are offered initiation. Those who are Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. Shudras, they are not given initiation. This is not by birth. Shudras means by qualification. Brahmanas, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, all the qualifications are mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Where they are mentioned? No, that is the Varnashram system. But where are the qualities of each caste mentioned? Each section? 1842, 43 and 44. So accordingly, according to those qualities, people are judged on what caste they belong. And Dvija Sreshtha means the topmost among the Dvija, who are the Brahmanas. And their life is divided into four: Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. Kshatriyas only three: Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha. Vaishyas two: Brahmachari, Grihastha. Shudra one, Grihastha. So nowadays, practically Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha and Sannyas are absent. Kalau Shudra Sambhava. In Kali Yuga, everybody is Shudra. That's why only Grihastha ashram is there. And that too is not a Grihastha ashram. There is no spiritual practice going on. Just Griha Medhi, animal life. Wait, what? Well, you ask questions later. At the end, not every time you ask question. Okay, Griheshu Avishatam Chapi. So, when one is in the Grihastha life, family life, it is very distracting. That's why 3/4 of a life, especially of a Brahmana, is spent without the entanglement of family life. In Brahmacharya, he is not with the family. He is sent to the Gurukul and he stays with the Guru. He does not stay with the family. He stay with the family, father and mother will pamper. The child cry a little bit, the mother will say, oh, okay, finish. The guy will learn nothing. No discipline, no nothing. But in Gurukul, it's not that he is tortured, but he is made to undergo discipline. Acharan dasavan nicha. Brahmachari Gurukule vasandanto gurorhitam. Nothing for himself. That is the training. Everything for the Guru. Then he will develop in character, and he learns from the Guru the signs of Krishna consciousness. And when he sufficiently becomes strong, if he wants to enter family life, he can enter. But if he chooses not to, he can go directly to sannyas. But usually, many they enter family life, and there is a lot of struggle in family life. It's not easy. Griheshu avishitam. So much entanglement. What is that? Explained in the Bhagavatam. Janasya mohoyam maham mameti. पुंसस्त्रिया मिथुनी भावमेतं तयोर्मिथो हृदय ग्रंथिमाहु अतो गृह क्षेत्र सुताप्त वित्तैर्जनस्य मोहोयमहं ममेति. The attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of the male and female, one becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusions and thinks in terms of I and mine. And because of this, there is a lot of work. Whole life is working day and night. Kutumba bharanenava. It is a great burden he carries. Nidrya hriyate naktam vyavayena chavavayah Divachartheha yarajan kutumba bharanena va. So kutumba is family, bharanena. It's a weight. The lifetime of such an envious householder is passed at night either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime either in making money or maintaining family members. So he has no time left for Krishna consciousness. And the Kali Yuga way of working, Ugra karma, horrible work. It saps the very life out of the human being. Struggling to even devotees, struggling to keep chanting afloat. Reading, practically forgotten. So, it's very distracting. In fact, even here devotees now, so many small children are there. Sometimes the child makes some noise, the parents is sitting there listening, but because the child has to go out, cannot get the opportunity to hear. One distraction or another, it will come on, keep on coming. A lot of distractions. But today's verse says, Griheshu avishatam chapi. Even if one enters family life, which is griham andhakupam, Prahlad Maharaj says in another place. Andhakupam means a dark well, very hard to come out of there. But pumsam kushala karmanam, kushala means auspicious. Kaushalya means auspicious, female. So Kaushalam means auspicious. So related to Kushala. Kushala is the root word. Then there is Kaushalam, Kaushalya, so many. So now, what is Kushala Karmanam? What is auspicious activities? So there is a way. Now here, this verse is saying that even though one is in Grihastha ashram, there is a way to come out. Or rather, even while staying there, there is a way how not to be entangled. The example is given in Bhagavad Gita of a lotus leaf. Lotus leaf is waterproof, right? You know, right? Lotus leaf does not get wet, but it is always in water. Padmapatram ivam bhasa brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyatena sapapena padmapatram ivam bhasa. Chapter 5, text 10. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful reaction or action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. So, how to conduct the Grihastha ashram like the lotus leaf, not get submerged, not only out of water but also not wet even though it is in water. So, that is the thing mentioned in today's verse, because mostly it's all grahastha only, because brahmachari sannyas is very less percentage. So this kushala karmanam is explained in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. बुद्धि युक्तो जहातिह उभे सुकृत दुष्कृते तस्माद् योगाय युज्यस्व योगः कर्मसु कौशलम. Now this kushala karmanam or karmasu kaushalam is the same thing. What is that? Chapter 2, text 50. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in this life. Therefore strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. Karmasu kaushalam means, kushalam means auspicious, kaushalam means how to make it auspicious, the art of making it auspicious. That's why it is called art of all work. Kushala karmana means to work in such. What is art? Art means to make something meaningful, beautiful out of something, right? You know, everybody can draw with pen or pencil, and it is not art. Nowadays it is called art. You just scribble something and call it modern art, and you sell for millions of dollars. So that is going on because Kali Yuga rascals, they don't know what is art. But art means to make beautiful painting. So work, everybody is working. That nobody can stop anyway. Ant is also working very hard. Ant is also working. Every animal, there is no exception in that case. There is no exception in that case. Ant is also working, everybody is working. Dog is working, cat is working, because they need food. Everybody is working. So what is the art of work? Like everybody can scribble with pencil, right? But what is art? That some people only know. So the art is to have no reaction. That is karmasu kaushalam. To act without having reaction. Because some people do so-called pious activities. It is called pious, but actually it is sinful only. It is sinful. See, nowadays, I have done one TikTok also on this. I called it the 50 Shades of Grey. So, it's like this. Nowadays, pollution, you see. Green revolution. Let's make the world green. What is that green? Some less emission, less carbon dioxide, less smoke. But that does not mean green. Green means no smoke. It is just less grey. Grey, there are shades of grey, right? Black is very black, horrible. Or a little lighter. That's all. It's not really green, it's less grey, that's all. But it is said that, pollution free or, environment friendly. What is environment friendly? It is less environment harmful, you can say like that. But they want to say it environment friendly. It is not environment friendly. And nowadays they say, but electric cars is good, there is no emission at all. No, that is also displaced emission. Displaced emission means usually when the car is going, the emission is coming out from there. Now here the car is going, emission is not coming out from the car. But to get the electricity which charges the car, somewhere fossil fuels are being burnt extra. So there the pollution is going on. So it is just displaced. The smoke is not here, smoke is somewhere else. And as of percentage, I think 95% of electricity is still produced from fossil fuels. So there is no renewable sources of energy so much. They're trying, it's slowly increasing, but still the vast majority is from fossil fuels. So it is still, and also these batteries, when they become scrapped, when the car gets scrapped, then where to throw all these things? So that is another pollution. So environment friendly is a myth like that if we just try to adjust in this way. Environment friendly means those times people used to ride horses, that is environment friendly. The emission that comes out, the horse dung is biodegradable. Elephant used to be used. Donkeys used to be used. That is environment friendly. If you want to call environment friendly, you could ride on donkeys or horses. Bulls for farming. Bullock cart also. So these were the environment friendly. That is real green. These are all grey. Of course, there are other kinds of more sophisticated vehicles like Pushpaka Vimana. In heavenly planets, there is aeroplanes, but without any pollution, no sound pollution also. So very quietly you will go anywhere in the universe and with full facilities inside the aeroplane. So many things are there. So in this world, Sukrita and Dushkrita, pious activities and impious activities, they are mentioned. But actually, those so-called pious activities are still impious because we are still in the same mentality of enjoying this material world and not surrendering to Krishna. There is no surrender there still. Only when one surrenders, then that is auspicious. Jagan Mangalam, Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnu, Jagan Mangalam Asam. So that then it is auspicious, Mangala. Otherwise there is no actually auspicious. But it is encouraged by saying it is Sukrita. So that at least we get some, we want to elevate ourselves. And finally, at some point, directly to Krishna consciousness. So anything closer, getting closer to that is encouraged. So in that way. But now the problem is whether Sukrita or Dushkrita, we have to take birth again. Now there is nicely mentioned in this verse 555 and 556. You see this. Parabhavastavad yavan jigyasata atmatattvam yavat kriyas tavadidam manovai karmatmakam yena sharira bandha. As long as we engage in fruitive activity, the mind is karmatmakam, is colored with fruitive activity. It is not pure. And it will lead to, invariably it will lead to, what it will lead to? Paying attention or not? Here class is going on, the audience is somewhere else. What it will lead to? You know what we are talking about? You know what we are talking about first of all? Not paying attention. Physically present, mentally absent. Parabhav. Defeat. Parabhav means defeat, Sanskrit, Bengali. Parabhav means defeat, right? Don't know. Anyway, Hindi Parabhav means defeat. So Parabhavastavad abodha jato. If we don't enlighten ourselves with knowledge, Atma Tattvam, if we don't inquire even, enlightenment will come, first of all the step is inquiry. Then questioning on our part, and then seeking out the bona fide spiritual master, getting the answers from the Shastras, from him, then there is enlightenment. And following also, service. And then there is enlightenment, jnana and vijnana. But if we don't even inquire, which is the very beginning, then parabhav, we are defeated. And yavat kriyas, so in that abodha, avidya, karma, samgyanya, abodha jata means what? Produced from ignorance. Abodha means ignorance. Avidya means also ignorance. Avidya, karma, samgyanya. This Maya has, what is that? Maya has two things, ignorance, and that ignorance will make us work fruitive activity. Fruitive activity means every activity we do is a seed and it will grow into a tree and bear fruit. And when it fructifies, we experience the reaction of that activity. That is called fruitive activity. Whether it's pious or so-called impious. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, this is Suvishaya and Kuvishaya, both are Vishaya. Vishaya means material life. Suvishaya means heavenly life, this, or even in earth, comfortable situation. Suvishaya. And Kuvishaya is sinful life or sinful reaction, painful life. So, Suvishaya or Kuvishaya, it is ultimately is Vishaya, is materialistic life. And yena sharira bandhaha karmatmakam. You see, yavat kriyas tavad idam manovai karmatmakam. When we engage in fruitive activity, the mind becomes karmatmakam. Always thinking in this way, let me do this to get this, do this to get this. You always want to get karmatmakam yena sharira bandhaha. Now, even if we do so-called pious activities, we have to take birth. And once there is birth, jatasya dhruva mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha. There is death, there is old age, there is disease, there are so many other concomitant anxieties. So once there is birth, there is all these things, whether for pious or impious person. Sharira bandhaha. So now you see what happens in the next verse, Jasli. This is a very important verse. Evam manah karma vasham prayunte avidyayatmanyupadhiyamane प्रीतिर्न यावन् मयि वासुदेवे न मुच्यते देह योगेन तावत्. Here, so when we engage in fruitive activity, even for devotees, you see, if we engage, you see, working outside and all this, our mind is filled with those thoughts of material activity. And evam manah krishnavasham, karmavasham, karmavasham prayunkte. Then avidyayatman upadhiyamani. If we engage like that, then you see. And if we don't have pritirna yavan mayi vasudeva, if we don't have priti for Vasudeva, if we don't have attraction for Krishna Katha and Krishna's service and of Krishna consciousness, if there is no priti, bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. There is no priti, there is no buddhi also. Nothing. So there has to be voluntary effort from our side to serve Krishna. And that voluntary effort will come when we are attracted to Krishna. A mother voluntarily serves the child. The child is not going to pay a single cent to the mother. Not a single cent. But she voluntarily engages in the service of the child. Why? Because of love. So if we have to serve Krishna, that is out of priti it should come. So that priti will increase only if we hear about Krishna. So if pritirna yavan mayi vasudevi, if we don't have the priti, then namuchyate deha yogena tavat. Forget about liberation. We can't be happy sitting here, oh Prabhu, I am chanting Hare Krishna, I will go back, no? Vaikuntha, just waiting for, sometimes some devotees say, oh, good if I get COVID and die, then I can go back to Krishna. Are you so confident of going back to Krishna, is it? Getting COVID and going back to Krishna, so easy. Devotee means just die and go back. Bharat Maharaj, what did he do? He was far greater devotee. He gave up whole earth, which was his kingdom, and still he fell down. And we are thinking we will go back to Godhead. So lightly, Sahajiya, this is Sahajiya, taking too cheaply. Krishna consciousness, taking too cheaply, not important. Whatever I do, I will go back to Godhead. No, anyway. Prabhupada says 16 rounds, I'll go back to Godhead. Yeah, we will go back. One day. One day we will go back. When the day will come, that is another matter. That depends on our sincerity. Prabhupada says 1 second is enough, 1 moment. But are we making the 1 moment progress? 100%? No. It depends on our surrender. What is this? Sit properly. 1 moment. Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. But if we don't have preeti, then we cannot surrender. We won't surrender. Why will we voluntarily give up ourselves? So, namuchyate, our continuation in this material world is guaranteed. So, therefore, preeti has to increase means katharuchi, Vasudeva katharuchi has to happen. You have to read. Once we hear more and more, then it will increase more and more. Then our service attitude will increase, everything will increase. You see here, Brahman Krishna Katha Punya Madhvir Lokamalapaha Konu Tripyeta Shranvana Shrutagno Nityanutana. Nityanutana. Krishna's topics are Nityanutana. Nutan means new, fresh. Nityanutana means always fresh, evergreen. And you see here, what experienced listener, O Brahmana, could ever grow satiated while listening to the pious, charming and ever fresh topics of Lord Krishna, which cleanse away the world's contamination? Experienced listener. Those who are inexperienced, yes, they will think, I have to read. But once one gets into the habit of reading, then one will see the ever fresh nature. How many times you read, it will always be enlightening. And it will cleanse away. And he cannot stop reading. He will feel something missing if he does not read. If he does not participate in Krishna consciousness, does not chant. He feels missing. That is beginning of Preeti. So, whether it is Suvishaya or Kuvishaya, we are engaged in Vishaya activity, and that is Karma Bandha, Deha Yogena. That means we will be connected with the body, Deha Yogena. That means we will get another body. So, but if staying in Grahastha Ashram, Pumsam Kushala Karmanam, if we engage in auspicious activities which are devotional service, that does not accrue as pious activity, a pious reaction or impious reaction. Because we don't want to, a devotee, he does not want to enjoy the results of his activities. He gives the results to Krishna. One has to practically give the results to Krishna. One's money, life, even if not full life, some time at least, start with some time and eventually will come to full time. Volunteer or time. What is that? Pranayar, Arthayar, Dhiya, intelligence. One's intelligence one has to use in understanding the philosophy. And Vacha, speaking about Krishna to others, preaching his message to others. If we don't begin to act in this way, then we cannot become Mukta. But if one acts like that, even in Grahastha Ashram, he will be Jivan Mukta. Even while engaging, while in this world, he will be considered Mukta. And Madvarta Yatayamanam, very important phrase. In shlokas, we have to identify, you see, like word to word meanings are given, right? Word to word meanings. We have to also identify the phrases. Phrases. Like, for example, Shikshashtaka 1, for example, just Cheto Darpanam Arjanam, that is one phrase. Bhava Mahadhavagni Nirvapanam, another phrase. So that is, all those words are together. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, that is one more phrase. Vidyavadhu Jivanam, another phrase. Now, if they understand these phrases, then we can get a better grasp of the shloka. Anandambudhi Vardhanam, another phrase. So if you see Prabhupada quoting, sometimes he will quote just Chetu Darpanam Arjanam or Anandambudhi Vardhanam, Vidyavathu Jivanam, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. He is quoting just that is necessary. Sarvatma Snapanam is a bathing of the soul. So in this way we have to understand these phrases, then we can have better grasp of the meaning. So Madvarta Yatayamanam, this is very important phrase in this verse. Madvarta means topics about Krishna. Yatayamanam means in every moment of every hour of every day. What is that? Yatayamanam is expended. Whose every moment? Whose every moment is spent in Madvarta. What happens? Let's look at some. See. 2:3:17. Ayur harati vaipumsam udyanastam chayannasau tasyarte yat kshanonita uttama shloka vartaya. Again, vartaya. This is Yatayamanam. Every moment. Both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone. While we are enjoying beautiful sunrise and sunset, the sun is robbing us of our lifetime. But except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all-good personality of God, his time is not wasted. Why? How come? You mean to say devotee does not die? No, his body also will go just like any other. Then what is the meaning of this verse? Meaning is that his activity that he is doing, time everybody has. I mean, the sun is rising for everyone, sun is setting for everyone in the same interval. But what we do with that time will determine our next phase of existence. And because the devotee, he is going towards eternal life just by hearing Krishna's katha, Madhvarta. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tatvataha tyaktva deham punarjanmana iti mameti sorjuna. What is the difference between our birth and Krishna's birth and activities? Our activities, Krishna's activities. We are bound. We do not choose our birth. We are suffering. And our activity produces reactions. But Krishna's activities are so pure, Krishna's birth is so pure, that just by hearing of his activities and birth, we will stop our birth and activities in this material world. This is the power of Krishna. So that's why Madhvarta is very important. Krishna's or Uttama Shloka Vartaya. So if we engage ourselves in these topics, then that time spent, we are exchanging it for eternal benefit. Pratyavayo na vidyate. There is no diminution. There is no lessening of this. Each time we participate in Krishna's service, beginning with hearing and chanting, that is accruing to our spiritual bank balance. So that is, we are making progress towards eternal life. But if we can make all the progress in this life, then we can go back. Otherwise we have to come back. All good personality of Godhead. So Madhvarta Yatayamanam. Now there is another word, another meaning of Yatayamam. Yatayamam means time has passed. When time passes, anything will become stale. Anything will become, eventually when time passes, what will happen to our body? It will die. So with passing of time, there is deterioration of anything in this world. That's why Mrityu Sarvaharascha or Kalosmi Loka Kshayakrit. What to speak of anything, even the whole universe will be destroyed by the representation of Krishna in the form of time. So, time causes the destruction of everything. Now, Yatayamam, there is a word, this phrase is used in Bhagavad Gita. Yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam cha yat uchishtam api chamedhyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Gata rasam. This is another meaning of yatayama. So when time passes, like food, when it is hot, the taste is nice. When it will cool down, taste is gone. Gata rasam. Rasam means taste, gata means finished. It has gone, past. Tasteless, you see. Gata rasam, tasteless. So food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten. Okay, this is not for prasadam. You see, if you see yatayamam, the description here, food cooked 3 hours before being eaten. That means stale food, which is tasteless, bad smelling, decomposed, like this. Food that is tasteless, decomposed and putrid, food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. Now, why did I show this? Now, think in the 1080 42, I think. Yeah. You see, this is by Sandipani Muni. Sandipani Muni told Krishna and Sudama, Tushtoham, he is a guru, right? He is a spiritual master of Krishna. Sandipani Muni. Tushtoham, I am satisfied. Bho dvijashreshthah, satyah santu manorathah, chandamsi ayatayamani. This word is used. Ayatayamani bhavantviha paratracha. I am satisfied. Tushtoham. Bho Vija Sreshtha. You boys are the best of the twice born and I am satisfied with you. When the Guru is satisfied, what is the thing? May all your desires be fulfilled. Jai Prasad Pure Sarva Asha. And may the Vedic mantras you have learned never lose their meaning for you in this world or the next. This is very, very important. Ayata Yamani, never growing old. If we disobey, if the spiritual master is displeased, then Krishna consciousness becomes dry. Yata Yamam, tasteless, stale. Like one of the gurus in ISKCON, he said, chanting is very dry. In 2007, by the time he was 40 years into Krishna consciousness, and he said, the chanting is not giving any taste. It's just dry. There's no taste anymore. Why? Why that happens? Because Tushtoham, the spiritual master is not Tushta. Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado, yasya aprasadan nagatih kutopi. His whereabouts are unknown, Prabhupada said. He whose spiritual master is dissatisfied, his whereabouts are unknown in the matter of spiritual advancement. He is nowhere in the map. Nowhere on the road map of spiritual advancement. Whereabouts are unknown. He is drifted somewhere away. Such a person, he will feel yatayamam. Whatever he has learned from spiritual master will not be fresh. Although Krishna is nitya nutana and ayatayamani, but for that person who who conducts offense to spiritual master, for him it will be yatayama. Here he is saying clearly that because I am satisfied, the Vedic mantras, all the teachings that we have learned, ayatayamani, never grows old. So, if a grihastha, even if he is engaged in madvarta yatayamanam, if he spends his time in madvarta without committing offense, then it will not be gatarasam, it will not be tasteless. It will be full of meaning. And you see, interesting thing he says, will never lose their meaning for you in this world or the next. We have example of Gajendra, who was Indradyumna, king. He learned shlokas, previous life. Next life he used them when he was attacked by the crocodile. Bharat Maharaj, he learned. And then he became a deer, he used that intelligence, what he learned. So, that revived him. See? This is possible if one takes seriously Krishna consciousness. Even if he cannot finish, there will be opportunity immediately, and immediately he will take up. But our thing is, we should not waste time like that and not give trouble to the spiritual master. Because if you are here, then the spiritual master, if he is merciful, he will come every time to deliver us. So we should not put him in trouble. That's why we have to be serious. Madvarta yatayamanam nabandhaya grihamata. Then that household life is not bondage. Is not nabandhaya grihamata. So he will not be bound by this material reaction. No, don't switch on. This sound will come here, the mic. Anyway, we're going to finish in a while. So, nabandhaya grihamata. So, we will just look at this conversation between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Narad Muni. 7.14.1 Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Yudhishthir Uvacha Grihastha etam padavim Vidhina yena chanjasa yaya devarshe bruhi madrisho grahamudhadhi. Grahamudhadhi. Completely ignorant of the goal of life. Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired from Narad Muni. Now, Yudhishthir Maharaj is, Sarathya parashada sevana sakhya dautya veerasananugamanastavana pranaman snigdheshu pandushu jagat pranatim cha vishnor bhaktim karoti nirpatischaranarvinde. Yudhishthir Maharaj's position is that Krishna became his messenger, his night watchman, his brother's, younger brother's driver. He became, what is Yudhishthir Maharaj? That is his level. But you see, he is asking he is teaching us how to approach a great saintly person. Because everybody is in Grihastha ashram, right? So he is teaching us how to approach a saint, a Grihastha, not only Grihastha, everybody. Oh my Lord, oh great sage, kindly explain how we who are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation according to the instructions of the Vedas. He is asking. Is there any need for Yudhishthir Maharaj to ask this? When Krishna himself is a servant of his family? No need. But he is asking for us, just like Arjuna asked, representing us. But now you see the answer. Shri Narado Vacha Griheshvavasthito Rajan Kriyaha Kurvan Yathochitah Vasudevarpanam Sakshad Upasita Mahamunin. Vasudevarpanam Sakshad. Narad Muni replied, my dear king, those who stay at home as householders must act to earn their livelihood, and instead of trying to enjoy the results of their work themselves, they should offer these results to Krishna, Vasudeva. How to satisfy Vasudeva in this life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees of the Lord. We have to offer to Krishna, yes. How can we offer to Krishna? One businessman, I went to his office. Oh, we have to offer to Krishna, okay. What I will do, every time I get a business payment, because I have Laddu Gopal in my house, I will put in front of him, I will offer to Krishna and then take prasadam, put in my bank. Krishna also knows how to take that one. Krishna knows how to take this kind of cheating nonsense offering. Offering Krishna means to the devotees, to the mission of Krishna. That's why it is said, how to satisfy Vasudeva in this life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees of the Lord. So, how to understand from the devotees? Next two verses, 3 and 4. Shrinvan Bhagavato Abhikshanam. Continuously. Abhikshanam means continuously. Shrinvan Bhagavato. Constant hearing. Shrinvan Bhagavato Bhikshanam Avatara Kathamritam Shraddhano Yatha Kalam Upashanta Janavrita. You see? Satsanga Chanakaihi Sangam Atmajayatmajadishu Vimunchen Mutyamaneshu Swayam Swapnavaduthitaha. Swapnavaduthita means like awakening from a dream. Let's look at this word, which is Yatha Kalam, according to time. Generally, a Grihastha can find time in the evening or in the afternoon. I think afternoon nowadays cannot, evening maybe sometime. A Grihastha must associate again and again with saintly persons. And with great respect, he must hear the nectar of the activities of the Supreme Lord and his incarnations, as these activities are described in Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas. Thus, one should gradually become detached from affection for his wife and children, exactly like a man awakening from a dream. So, this is how one has to conduct himself. Next 7:14:5. यावदर्थम उपासीनो देहे गेहे च पंडितः विरक्तो रक्तवत् तत्र नृलोके नरतां न्यसेत्. While working to earn his livelihood as much as necessary to maintain body and soul together. This is called Shariram Kevalam Karma. 4th chapter 21st verse. Shariram Kevalam Karma. One who is actually learned should live in human society unattached to family affairs, although externally appearing very much attached. Padmapatra Mivambhasa, like a lotus leaf. This is only possible by strong association with devotees. Jnatayah pitaro putra bhratarah surhudo pahare yadvadanti yadachanti chanumodeta nirmama. An intelligent man in human society should make his own program of activities very simple. If there are suggestions from his friends, children, parents, brothers, or anyone else, he should externally agree, saying yes, that is all right. But internally, he should be determined not to create a cumbersome life in which the purpose of life will not be fulfilled. So, in Grihastha life, we have to deal with so many elements. So-called family members become great sources of lack of, how to say, they sap the inspiration out of, spiritual inspiration out of the advancing devotee. They will bring suggestions which are useless for all practical purposes and which are meaningless or even offensive. And when one tries to preach to them, some family members, they are good enough to listen and change. Many, they don't. So these are described in different ways in the Shastras, compared to sharks, compared to jackals, compared to all these wild animals, sapping or attacking us from all sides. So, but we have to strongly associate with sadhus. Brahma says, Jnane prayasam, this is another. Jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam sthane sthitah shrutigatam tanuvan manobhir ye prayasho jita jito pyasitais trilokyam. Those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, throw away the process of speculative knowledge and with their body, words and mind offer all respects to descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are not that I hear and then go, it's a nice story, Prabhu, good, thanks. See you next week. Not like that. Dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees, certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the three worlds. Let's look at some concluding verses. Of course, this topic actually is very, very broad. The purport is also very long and a lot of topics there, but don't have much time. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Animitta Nimittena Swadharmena Amalatmana Tivraya Mai Bhaktya Cha Shruta Sambhritaya Chiram. Chiram means long time, Chiram. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one can get liberation. You want liberation? One can get. But by seriously discharging devotional souls unto me. And thereby hearing for a long time about me or from me. By thus executing one's prescribed duties, there will be no reaction. And one will be freed from the contamination of matter. Today's exact topic. How one can perform one's prescribed duties. What is that? Kushala Karmanam. With no reaction. The art of work. Ubhe Sukrita Dushkrite Jahati ho. Buddhi Yukta Jahati ho. And one will be freed from the contamination of matter. But this is seriously discharging. Not taking lightly. Next verse. ज्ञानेन दृष्टतत्त्वेन वैराग्येण बलीयसा तपोयुक्तेन योगेन तीव्रेणात्मसमाधिना. वैराग्येण बलीयसा, वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योग, ज्ञान and vairagya baliyasa. This devotional service has to be performed strongly in perfect knowledge and with transcendental vision. One must be strongly renounced and must engage in austerity and perform mystic yoga in order to be firmly fixed in self-absorption. So how to be renounced if one has family? One should understand firmly that they are all actually Krishna's. They are not my family. It's a bogus idea that they are my family. They are actually belonging to Krishna. And engage them. Manasa deho geho jo kichu more arpilu tuapade nand kishore. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, whatever may be mine, so called, in this world, let me offer everything to you. It belongs to you actually. So engaging everybody in family members in Krishna consciousness, seeing them as servants of Krishna and not objects for my enjoyment. But this only we can get when we hear strongly. Otherwise, forget it. Prakriti purushasyeha dahyamana tvaharnisham tiro bhavitri shanakai ragner yoni rivarani. The influence of material nature has covered the living entity, and thus it is as if the living entity were blazing, always in a blazing fire. But by the process of seriously discharging devotional service, this influence can be removed, just as wooden sticks which cause a fire are themselves consumed by it. So this is the art of work. Same activities as the materialists, but for Krishna. So this principle, the yogurt and milk principle, is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.33. Amayo yascha bhutanam jayate yena suvrata tadeva hyamayam dravyam napunati chikitsitam. Amayam means disease. That's why Vaikuntha is called Anamayam. There is no disease of birth and death, Bhavaroga. That's why Padam Gachanti Anamayam 2.51. So, Amayam means disease. Chikitsita means cure, treated with. See? Oh good soul, does not a thing applied therapeutically cure a disease which was caused by that very same thing? So that is the milk, and different version of it will actually cure us from that disease. So in this way, one must be engaged constantly in hearing and acting on that platform. Hearing is the first step. After that, acting has to be there. Acting on that platform. Then one will get Vijnana. Devotional service will be very healthy if we constantly read and hear. Otherwise it will become unhealthy. As yesterday Prabhu was saying, it will become a burden. It will become an extra thing. I have to wake up for Mangalarti, later I will feel sleepy. This Mangalarti is... It will become like that. So, there's one... I'll stop here just before 4:30. This is the one, Jivan Mukta. Iha yasya harerdasya karmana manasa gira nikhila swapyavasthasu Jivan Mukta sa uchyate. So through our life, wealth, words and intelligence, by our mind, body and words, if we serve Krishna, then we will be liberated in any condition. Jivan Mukta. Ultimately, the principle of Krishna consciousness is mentioned here. 3.30 Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatadjvaraha. Therefore, Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. Because if I don't, if I'm not going to get anything from it, no profit, no proprietorship, then why should I work? Because that's how work is done. So we become lethargic where there is no profit. But here he is saying, nirashir nirmamo and vigata jvaraha. At the same time, no lethargy. Now, that will come when we have full knowledge of Krishna as revealed by him and surrendering all our works to him. And this is achieved through the association of devotees who are situated in that platform. That's why next verse Krishna says, Ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti mana. In fact, in the previous verse 330, you see, this verse clearly indicates the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. So, the Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties as if in military discipline. So, next verse, you see, Ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti manava shraddhavanto nasuyanto muchyante tepi karma. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. And those who do not do so, yetvetad abhyasuyanto nanutishtanti me matam sarvajnana vimudham sthana vidhin ashtana chetasa. But those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. So, I would like to stop here. Any questions or comments on this topic? Verse. Yeah, this for those who are watching online, this is the link, the TikTok that I did, 50 Shades of Grey. Alright, so I think I'll stop it there. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Prabhu, anything you want to add, Prabhu? Prabhu, anything you want to add? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanand.